All right, now what I'm going to do for the last layer is, see, I've got these 2 layers done. I just have the last layer to worry about. And what I do for the last layer is simple. I do the corners first. First I put them in the right order. Then I flip the color. Then I do my cross, okay? And this is how we do it. First, line up as many corners as you can that are correct. Usually there's 2 right and 2 wrong. In this case, these 2 are correct. Orange, green goes here. Red, green goes here. These 2 are wrong. Orange goes over here and red goes over here. So I take the 2, I always work with white on top, but I find the 2 that need to be flipped and I put them so they're in front, here and here. Then I do this. This is the flip pattern. It's a little, this is probably the hardest part of the whole thing in my opinion, is I drop the right, I flick the bottom, I bring it back. Then I flick the front, I spin the bottom, I flick the front back, I drop the right, I flick this back to line it up, and I bring it back. And that is a lot. That's, to me, the worst part of the entire solving of the whole cube. But what that does is, you see, it puts everything in place. There's the red and green, red and blue, orange and blue, and orange and green. Okay? Now I have one. There's all kind of algorithms to flip the bottom corners, depending on which, if they're, you know, if you have these already flipped, you do a certain thing, and this. There's one universal one that if you learn it, it might take you a couple more tries. Like I said, this isn't speed cubing. You're not going to be a 15-second cube solver, but you're going to be a 1 to 2 minute cube solver, which is still cool. Okay, so what I do here is I'm looking to, ideally, I want to get one cube of one corner cube that's yellow. And when I do, I want to put that bad boy in the upper left. And then I'm, you know, depending where this one is, my next move after that flips them all. So what I'll do is I'll just do it anywhere, really. It doesn't really matter from here. And the movement is, from white up always, is drop the right, flick the bottom, bring the right back. Flick the bottom again, drop the right, flick it back twice to line it up, and flick it back. And take a look and see what we got. Ooh, good, okay. We have, now we don't have to really, the corners aren't moving. So even though that's in the wrong spot, I could spin it and line them up there. Red, green, this, and this. But, you know, it doesn't matter. If they're like this, these are never going to move. So I can do that at the end. It doesn't matter where this is. Right now I'm just flipping these, okay? So there's my one that I'm trying to get, right? So I make sure, once I get one, I put it in the upper left. I put this down towards me. I do the same pattern again, the exact same pattern. Drop the right, flick, bring it back. Flick the bottom, drop the right again. Flick it twice to bring it back and line it up, and put it back. Now I've got one more cube, and I put it in the upper corner again. And here's a little trick. The opposite corner, once that's facing up, that means that this time it's going to do it. It's going to flip them all, okay? Upper left, same exact pattern. Drop the right, flick the bottom, bring it back. Flick the bottom again, drop the right, flick it twice to line it up, bring it back. Now they're all flipped, see? That's just the way it works out. Now I can line them up. Red, blue, okay. So now what I do, so everything's solved here except for the cross, these pieces. What I do here is I do a move called Around the World. It's very simple, and I do a combination of that and, you know, maybe a small variation of that move, and that's it. The whole cube's solved. It's done. So I start with, if I have a color that's right, in which case it's red, I'm going to start with that first. So I'm going to always hold white up, okay? I'm going to drop the middle. This is the Around the World move, okay? Ready? I drop the middle, flick it over once, bottom, bring it back. Flick it over twice, which brings it over here. Drop the middle, flick it again to line it up, and bring it back. And then I look, see what I did. I didn't do much, so I'm gonna do it again. Drop the middle, flick, bring it back. Flick, flick twice, drop the middle, flick it back, line it up, and bring it back. All but two. This is a very common scenario. You wind up with this an awful lot. And this is one easy way to solve it, a little variation of around the world, okay? You put the two, when you're holding it up, so one's facing towards you and one's facing to your right. So if you look at the bottom, it looks like that. So I put it down, okay? I do around the world, but instead of going all the way around, I stop in this, well, I'll show you. Drop the middle, flick it once, bring it back. Flick it once, not twice. That puts it back here. Drop the middle again, flick it again once. Bring it back. This time, flick it the opposite so it's coming back this way. So I flick with this hand, okay? Drop the middle again, flick it again, and line everything back up. Now what that did is that created 3 messed up cubes and 1 solid side. You take the solid side and put it towards you, and you do around the world twice, 2 times. You can either do it twice, you know, as is, or you can, or on your second trip around, you can literally keep going, okay? And the whole cube's solved. It's basically done. So you put the solid color towards you, drop the middle, flick, bring it back, flick, flick, drop the middle, flick, bring it back. And then you do around the world one more time. Drop the middle, flick, bring it back, flick, flick, drop the middle, flick, bring it back. And the whole cube solved. Works every time. Like I said, you won't get it. It's not a speed cubing type of thing. It's, you know, it's definitely not. I mean, it might take you a minute, 2 minutes. But the thing is it's definitely doable. Anybody can basically do it. I mean, it's not, you know, I'll just do it a little bit here. It's definitely not those guys. Those guys are awesome. That'll do it in a couple seconds. But, you know, they're learning all these advanced algorithms, and that's very cool. But most people can't do that or don't want to take the time to learn how to do that. So if you just want to be able to solve it without doing it, you know, if you don't care about doing it in a minute or under a minute, I'm sorry, then this is the way to go. I'm just doing a complete solve on it so you can see. There's that magic middle that I like. Remember, we're lining up red and green, goes here. And then we put this guy here. And boy, these are all out of order today. And right here. Now we have this and these 2 done. All we do is our top one, remember? So we line up the corners, look at the corners anyway. And I see these 2 are good, these 2 are bad. So what do? There's that one move that is kind of hard, okay? Now I look for the one corner going up. It's here. I'm going to have to do it twice. And I put it in the corner again, and I'm just going fast this time just to show you, you know, they're all flipped. I line them up kind of, and I can do, I'll take the green because it's already done, around the world. All but 2. Remember the secret with all but 2? Put them this way, drop the middle, bring it back. That creates 1 solid side, red. Do around the world twice. I won't even stop. I'll just keep on going. Boom, done. So it's not a super speed cube solve, but I guarantee with those few moves, very few patterns that you have to learn, everybody can solve it.